Ugh. So, how do we get out of here?
Yeah, no clue.
Ooh, fun.
I do know something we can do in the meantime.
Oh yeah? All right, you just want to introduce yourself.
I'm Harrison. I write the scripts, you know, talent and helping with props and everything. That's what I do.
You want to just talk about, you know, experience of writing the script for Tron?
It was 3 different scripts we went through. The first one, it was like, we got an invite for something and we got sucked into our phone, and then we were in the grid and we fought because of that, and then somebody took us out of the phone and was like, I can take you all with me. Yeah. And then there's another one where we cut the third and it was just 2 people and it was still going into like an invite or like trying to get virtual line, I think. And then it became the people making really stupid comments about the ride being really bad. So we said, oh, if one person wants to make it their whole personality, ran with that. And of course, the very end of the video, I had to put in what everyone was doing on TikTok, which was grittying in the grid.
So, you know, you write the scripts for all of our videos. So what is something that you, when you sit down and you start writing it, what are like things that go through your mind? What are you thinking about?
When I'm writing the scripts, I think about what Toren and I are going to bring to the table first. Extra people, if we brought them in. Then I also think about, okay, we're writing a video about Tron. We're going to need costumes that are Tron related or props. How much is that going to cost us? Or how much of a costume am I going to write in there? Or how much is this going to write in there? I'll write in a whole fight sequence. But then at the very end, in parentheses, I'll be like, if we can do it. If it's possible. It's just kind of going through and going, okay, let me set up like we have to build the first half of it. And then go, all right, where's the inciting incident? And go from there. And then usually, this video ending specifically, I was like, man. Do I have an exact way to end the video? Not sure. And then I kept seeing the TikToks and was like, this is how I end the video. Because sometimes you just don't know what you're doing. And I feel like I'm writing in circles sometimes. I'm just like, I keep writing the same thing over and over again. But not everything's going to end with a gritty in the grid. And I wanted to include a scene from the movie in there. Yeah, I was just looking through it and I just kept like typing in like, okay, scene. All right, and then look, and I'd watch and go, okay, is there any dialogue from this scene that I could use in input dialogue for us between? And most of it I couldn't. And then I found the one where Clue was just like angry and threw something off the table, and I was like, this works because it's silent. It was great. Power of a green screen's crazy. Although we were gonna have me ride a Lightcycle, I think, at one point, and we had a test shot of that, but we never ended up filming it. There's test footage, or there's a picture of me somewhere riding a Lightcycle because I was mounted on a bench covered in a green screen. Kind of worked.
Is there anything that when you're writing the script you think like, I would love to get, there's an idea that you have that you're like, I would love to do this, and sometimes things don't work out or whatever?
Oh yeah, plenty of times. Like we wanted a full out fight scene. Like there was gonna be a full on, a lot of different discs flying around, and then because we didn't think about how we were gonna do it, it didn't work. And you know what? It happens.
Hi, my name is Toren. I am primarily the editor for our channel, as well as same camera work. I also do, you know, some of the acting as well. Every video, Harrison will write up a script. We'll talk about the idea before anything is done. He'll send me a script, and then we go out and shoot it. Then I'll take all the footage and then upload it to my computer, start editing. We use Premiere Pro, which is really heavy duty, and it gets a lot of things that we want done. A lot of times, Harrison will, if he's got a certain idea, he'll kind of give a little bit of details on that in the script. So that kind of helps me as an editor know which way that we're going with this video. And I'll do a lot of thinking about that kind of stuff when he sends me the script. I will try to start visualizing the things that he's looking for, the things that he's wanting to have done. And I'll let him know, it's like, hey, this is totally plausible. I can make this happen. I don't know, this might take some time, it might be harder to do. One of those things was definitely the disc fight. I think I also wanted more out of that as well, especially like mid-shooting while we were doing different shots, we were doing different angles and stuff. I wanted a lot more from this video, but it was just how demanding the editing experience was. We tried throwing it, you know, past the green screen, and we were both throwing and catching, and there was moments of dialogue where it's mid-catch and throw again, and it just didn't work out the way that we wanted it to be. And sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes, you know, I want the biggest and the best for both of us, and I know that Harrison will have these bigger ideas, and I want to kind of get those accomplished, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. It's like making the final cut of like, hey, I'm gonna be real with you, this isn't gonna happen. It might have to be condensed to this, which ends up working out because sometimes it's a lot of timing. Timing has a lot to do with it. Trying to make sure the video paces well and it feels like it's not dragging on.
You're a big person with the, you got all the costumes and props.
Yeah.
So explain that.
That's true. Yeah, this was this was a fun one. When we had this idea, I was like, yes, I'm on board. Let's get costumes and let's figure out what we're gonna do. The costumes was basically getting shirts, and I was like, well, we've got to get something that's replicated enough of the Tron movie, the Tron Legacy. Did find was a bike shirt that had the fit, and I was like, okay, well, that's not too bad. It's just a shirt. It is what it is. In the midst of that is when we kind of were trying to figure out, like, you know, like how do we, in this battle sequence, you know, they throw disc. How do we get a disc? Also very hard to find online. But we ran into a friend, and he was like, hey, I have like the toy Tron disc things. And I was like, cool. And he's like, I actually have both the blue and the orange. And I was like, if I could find an orange outfit, now there's a blue side and an orange side. And luckily enough, I did find a full fit. And this one was different. This was from a different provider. So it did have the top. It also had the pants, which the pants were something else. It was, again, it's both of them both being like biker outfits. So the pants had like a full pullover. Then it had like a cushion in the crotch area, because in normal cases when you're riding a bike, that's, you know, the extra cushion so you're not, you know, gonna get rubbed or whatever the case was. So that was crazy. But it was cool that it worked out that way, to be able to get the parts and pieces put together so that this video really truly was like, if you're a Tron Legacy fan, this is what's gonna fit together.
You talk about how we weren't able to film together, so we had to alter things, and you had some script ideas and things to change around because of not being able to go to the previews together.
So that was another hard thing. We weren't able to go do the Tron preview together. So we had to do things separately, which kind of sucked. And I had one of my friends kind of film me walking up. And I had this crazy idea. I was like, well, Harrison's in the grid now, so how do I go and get him? And of course, the whole ride is about blue users enter here. You're gonna go digitize in there. And I was like, that's perfect. So when the pre-show happens and I get digitized, I will be transported into the grid, which was very cool. And I think one of the editing styles is that if you paid attention to the video was all in full in the beginning when we're talking about Tron and whatnot, but then it becomes that widescreen, like that cinematic look when we enter the grid, so that things change and whatnot. But I was very quick about trying to think about how can we alter the script and how can we make this fit and form. And that's how a lot of videos go, you know? We go in with the initial idea, and sometimes things change and we just gotta roll with the punches, but we end up making it work out.
You as an editor, because you've taught yourself basically.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this whole production?
Yeah, I've taught myself as editing. We in the past were doing a lot of just iMovie, so I knew the basics of cutting and adding audio and stuff. But a lot of this pushed me as an editor. I did a lot of different tricks and stuff. There were things that I picked up from other videos that I used in this video. In the beginning, I wasn't comfortable with a lot of our work. I could get the job done, but it was kind of crappy, so I felt really bad about a lot of the things that we've done. So I really pushed myself this video to amp it up. I found a lot of very helpful tips, and that kind of helped push and guide this video into what it is now. I'm very proud of it. I'm happy that we did this, and I'm happy that the results of what it turned out to be.